It's so funny on how people can get offended by you for literally no reason. Let's get this video started and out of the way. Alright, so earlier today we did a video doing this with the face cam, and on the downside of the thing, one of the downside things with this face cam is that the voice quality is not quite all there, but it's relatively really decent. So other than that, that is the only downside with this webcam of what we're actually have started to do. But other than that, everything is good. It's a clean, crisp HD 1080p, and honestly, I think probably this will do me for probably a little while, and eventually I will upgrade to a much more better one, like say something like 1080p 60 FPS, or maybe even 4K 60 probably in the next year or two when we get the best technology of camera and whatever recording when it comes to that point. But as I was going to say, now this will most likely be the last video that we do discussing about this situation. But at the same time, it really seems like that nowadays you pretty much get people that just literally get offended by you of like whatever you say for exactly no reason. They just get offended. And I've actually got quite people got offended by me when I actually started to talk about how like I still I mean, you can already see right back there, right as where my thumb is actually touching, you can see right back there I got a PS5. And there's a Series X that's right below it. You can't see it because that old monitor is right there blocking the road, and that light also. But on the other side, like exactly right there, I have an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro. Now, I technically, still to this day, I still play on the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And truthfully, I still think they're really, really great pieces of hardware. Games still look incredible, especially in 4K. Now, you don't get the ray tracing and you don't get as much smooth 60 FPS games like as you would right there on the PS5 and Series X. But you still get really, really decent smooth 30 FPS on most games than compare with the Xbox 360 and PS3. And honestly, like, because of the fact that I told a few people that I still technically play on those consoles primarily right now, they literally think that, like, it goes to show you, because, like, they'd be like, oh, bruh, like, why in the world are you still playing on those old crappy consoles if you got the new ones? Bruh, why don't you just play the new console? Bruh, why'd you get a PS5 in the first place? Why did you even get a Series X if you're not even going to play it? Bruh, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you waste your money? But here is the thing. This is what they don't understand. Okay, I got the consoles. I pre-ordered them, got them both day one, and I'm very happy with them. Like, no joke. I am really, really happy that I'm one of the luckiest few that got these consoles pre-ordered, and especially day one. Like, there's no joke about it. Games look incredible. I love the amazing 4K visuals, and the ray tracing and the smooth 60 and 120 FPS gaming. But there are downsides right now with the consoles, at least right now in their early lifetime stages. Okay, number one, there's not very many games out right now for the new systems. All you got is Borderlands 3, Black Ops Cold War, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then some exclusives for the PS5, Demon Souls Remake, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, as well as some other third-party games. Cyberpunk, well, Cyberpunk actually ain't on there. I don't know why I said Cyberpunk. We got a while. Watch Dogs Legion, and we actually did get Crash Bandicoot 4 just recently, and that's pretty much all the games that you got on the next-gen consoles. Whereas on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, you still got the massive library that you have bought over the last few years. You still got all of those games. Now, I understand that you can play those games on the PS5 and Series X. They're both all backwards compatible. The PS5 can literally play like 99.9% of all PS4 games. And the same thing with the Xbox Series consoles can pretty much do the same with Xbox One. But, like, you don't have enough storage, which that is the second reason. You don't have that much storage. Now, surely you can plug in your external hard drive and play your games through those, but you're not going to get nothing that's going to benefit from using the hard drive, the external hard drives that you currently already use on the new consoles. You're not going to get nothing that's going to benefit from it. You're not going to get none of the upgrades and none of the faster loading times, especially the faster loading times. You're definitely not going to even get the enhancements that, like say for example, Gears of War 5. That game just got a free patch upgrade for the Series S and Series X that can play at 4K and I think 120 FPS. You're not going to get that if you play it directly off the external hard drive. You're just going to get the like 60 FPS and the standard dynamic 4K that you would get on the One X. That's all you're going to get. So really, it's not really worth to plug in the hard drive. Now, for those of you that are casual gamers that still like to play old games and want to make sure that your games come with you and you don't care about the like enhancements and then the better frame rates, then you're pretty much are set. But for like a hardcore gamer like me and a lot of others out there that still like to keep their older consoles and whatever, we just don't see the point of doing that because we're not getting no benefits. So in order to get the benefits and get the upgrades, you have to literally use the SSD storage that is inside both of the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And there's not that much storage. You only get 802 gigabytes on the Xbox Series X, and you only get 500, or no, not 500, 667 gigabytes on the PS5. That's the only storage you get on both of the consoles. And what's even worse is you only get 364 gigabytes on the Xbox Series S. Granted, I do not have the Xbox Series S, so I got the Series X, so I'm getting the best when it comes to the most storage and the most power. But you just won't get, like, no enhancements, and that's the only amount of storage that you get. So that's number two. And the third downside is, well, most of your friends ain't going to really upgrade to the next-gen consoles, especially right away. Now, I only got a couple friends that did upgrade to a Series X, and I actually did get another friend just the other day who just got a PS5. But like 90% of my friends are still have Xbox Ones and PS4s. Now, you can play PS4 or your Xbox One, or I mean PS5 and Series X is what I meant. you can still play those consoles and still play with friends on the last generation consoles. So you're pretty much set there, but at the same time, it's just like why, if you're just going to use it for the next gen games because of the less amount of storage, you're just better off to just play on the last generation consoles. And those are technically the reasons as to why I still primarily play on my Xbox One X and my PlayStation 4 Pro. And like I stated, those consoles are still really, really impressive. They're still really, really powerful. You're still getting 4K visuals and at least decent frame rates than what you would got on, like, say, the original Xbox One, PS4, and even the older 360 and PS3 consoles. You're still getting decent frame rates and you're still getting 4K visuals. So honestly, if you got a friend and they got a problem with you or whatever, because, like, let's say you still primarily play on also, like, let's just say the PS4 Pro, and you just got a PS4 Pro, like, not that long ago, like a little bit before the PS5 came out, and your friends are like, bruh, why in the world are you still playing on that crappy console? Dude, I got a PS5. Why in the world did you not get a PS5? I'm better than you because you did not get a PS5. Like, like, no. It just literally, it doesn't matter what you play if you're comfortable. And for, like I said, there's barely any games out right now for the new systems. Probably by the time, like, sometime late next year hits, that's when I think, like, most or half of the gaming community that is into console gaming is going to start heavily focusing on the next gen aspect and not also just the current gen in some ways. Once we get more games come out and we're able to get more storage, which technically we can right now for the Series X, but it's really expensive, especially for a 1 terabyte Seagate. That is like $220. And most likely it's going to be the same thing also with the PS5 this summer when Sony allows the NVMe drive to be accessible. So once we get more games and once the storage comes affordable, and especially with the PS5, and we are able to get more storage, then is when the time I honestly think that us gamers, and especially me, we will start slowly going on over to mostly playing next gen stuff. But it's going to take a little bit of time, and this is how it is with every new console generation that comes out. I didn't even really get a PS4, or I mean, not a PS4, an Xbox One until basically a year and a half later after the Xbox One launch, and I was still playing 360 for at least another year most of the time after I got an Xbox One a year and a half later. So it was basically like 2.5 years till I started more slowly staying on the Xbox One, because at that time there was more games and there was so much to play. So it's like this with every console generation when a first new generation launches. So I wouldn't really let that bother you. If you got friends that are like that, I would just be like, okay, just tell them, okay, I'll do it, and just move on. But anyway, this is Infernal Shard 1 for the win, signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So if you did, hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below, and also turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any new content. And we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.